Welcome to CareLink SF, eClinicalWorks, EMR Training, OB Flow Sheet, Initial Visit. In this video, we'll introduce you to the OB Flow Sheet, a specialized progress note used to track and manage a patient's pregnancy. The flow sheet is a comprehensive collection of timelines and benchmarks for the duration of the patient's pregnancy. The video will walk you through the workflow for documenting an initial OB intake visit in ECW. In order for an OB flow sheet to be accessible in the progress note, the visit type must be set to PN for prenatal. This way, ECW will automatically display an OB flow sheet during the visit. The check-in steps from the office visit screen will remain the same as other visits. Place a check mark next to the patient and click Check In, Check Out from the bottom of the screen. Check the patient in, enter a room number, and update the status to Other Provider. If the Provider/Resource column is listed as Physician Statistical, update the appointment provider to the appropriate permanent provider by clicking the caret next to View Progress Notes and selecting Change Appointment Provider/Resource. This ensures that all tests ordered during the visit return to the appropriate provider's jelly bean. Double-click on the appointment to begin charting. The very first step to the OB flow sheet is to create the pregnancy. Click Create Pregnancy and choose the corresponding ICD code for the pregnancy. In this case, this is not the patient's first pregnancy, so I'll go ahead and select the Z34.80 assessment code. This assessment will remain in the patient's problem list throughout the pregnancy and be removed when the pregnancy is closed. Note that while you are in an OB flow sheet, you may access a progress note for the same visit by clicking PN at the top of the note. This will toggle back and forth between an OB flow sheet and the progress note. Now let's take a look at the flow sheet. The very best way to view the OB flow sheet is by utilizing the olives from the top of your screen. Click on the left and right olives until they turn red. This will present the flow sheet in a wider and cleaner view. Each section of the flow sheet displays different information about the pregnancy. Click on the blue heading for each link to document in that section. The toolbar at the top of the flow sheet will allow you to easily navigate by taking you directly to a section within the flow sheet. It's important to complete the sections of the flow sheet as shown in this video because some information in the flow sheet carries forward to other sections of the note. The header box at the top of the flow sheet will auto-populate with the gravidity and parity, the gestational age, and the estimated date of delivery as the information in the flow sheet is documented. The first section of the note is the estimated date of delivery. Click on the EDD link to open this section. It's important to use the yellow caret whenever it's provided in the OB flow sheet to ensure that the information is documented in the correct format and can subsequently be used to calculate fields in other sections of the note. In the EDD window for the initial visit, you'll only need to complete the left-hand side. Click on the caret next to LMP to enter the last menstrual period. The flow sheet will automatically calculate the estimated date of delivery based on this date. Click Select to document this EDD and type your initials in the box below. As the patient receives their initial exam and ultrasounds, you'll be able to select different EDD based on those results. When necessary, the provider will designate a final EDD for this window and initial on the right. Do not lock this section. Click Save to close out. You will see your information here on the note, as well as in the top header box. Next is Form A. Notice the LMP here carried forward from the information that you added in the EDD. It is important that you do not adjust the LMP in this window. Here, you will enter information regarding previous pregnancies and menstrual history. Use the caret to complete the boxes and click Save. If the caret does not provide you with appropriate information, you can always free text into the box. Next is past pregnancies. Here you can view and add past pregnancies. Click Save when complete. Next is the initial physical examination. Here, enter the current date and the pre-OB weight in pounds. The weight here will be used to calculate the total weight gain throughout the pregnancy. Next, enter the height and the BMI. In this section and in other sections of the OB flow sheet, you'll have the option to click Merge Defaults. This button will populate some of the boxes in this section with standard answers, which you can always edit if needed. I'll use the Merge Default box to complete some of the documentation in this window. Complete the remaining boxes using the caret provided, and click Save when complete. The next section is flow sheets. Each visit during this pregnancy will have its own line on this flow sheet. Click Add New Visit to start the first line of the flow sheet. If the week's gestation does not automatically populate in this box, click Cancel. You'll need to refresh the flow sheet by clicking on the two orange arrows at the bottom of your screen and then click back into the flow sheet. The week's gestation should automatically populate. Use the caret to complete the remaining information in the flow sheet. Click Save when finished. To the right side of your flow sheet, type your initials and click the lock. The next section is OB flow sheet history. Review the information here with the patient. You can merge defaults to save time and adjust as needed. Use the carets to update or free type in the boxes if needed. You can also add remarks or notes in the second column and click Save when you're finished. The next section is genetics. Review the information here with the patient and use the merge defaults if preferred. And click Save when you're finished. Next, click on Plans and Education. Add a date next to each education topic that you discussed with the patient. And note that this window is separated by the first, second, and third trimester. Here you will be documenting information from the first trimester. And click Save when finished. The next section is the OB problem list. The OB problem list functions as a mini SOAP note within the OB flowsheet. There are 5 sections that need to be added to each problem list as a standard for CareLink SF. These 5 items will be tracked and monitored throughout the pregnancy through the OB problem list. Click Add Problem to add your first problem to the list. Select Active or Resolved. Active items will show up at the top of the problem list. Add your initials, and the first problem will be the EDD. Click Timestamp and document the EDD. This will be updated throughout the pregnancy. And click Save. The next problem to add is the BMI. Document the BMI to be monitored throughout the pregnancy. The next is MOC, method of contraception. Method of feeding, and method of delivery. You may add additional items to the problem list as necessary. Examples of other items that may be added to the problem list could be healthcare maintenance items like immunizations that are due, genetic screening, or unsure of the last menstrual period. To order labs, click on Labs, and then click on View Care Graph. This will provide you with a template for ordering prenatal labs. Select Initial Visit from the drop-down, and click Apply Template. Now you can select from the OB Initial Labs order set. Click on the gray OS to select from a list of initial labs. Select any labs to order. You can also order prenatal vitamins to be dispensed in clinic and immunizations here. When you finish placing all of your orders, click Order from the very top of the order set to ensure that you order from all sections within the order set. Click Labs to see a list of all the labs that you've ordered. For any POC labs that you've ordered, you'll need to click on the date to document their results. Document the results on the yellow grid line for today's date, and then click Received and Reviewed. You will see the results here. The lab requisitions for these lab orders will be printed by toggling to the progress note and quick transmitted, just the same as other visit types. The last thing to document at the end of the OB flow sheet is the time that's spent on each CPSP item. Scroll all the way down to the Notes section and click on Add Notes. Click Timestamp, and then document the amount of time spent on orientation, health education, nutrition, and psychosocial. And click Save when you're finished. The rest of the documentation for the visit will be done in the progress note. Click on the PN at the top of the OB flow sheet to toggle over to the progress note. The first thing to document in the progress note will be your immunizations. To document your immunizations, first merge and complete the IZ screening template questionnaire. To access your templates, you'll need to click on the right olive until your right chart panel appears. Click on Templates, and then click on the arrow to merge the IZ screening template. When you have completed the IZ screening template, document that you've administered the immunization by clicking on the purple link next to the immunization. Here you'll document the dose, the lot number, the location, route, and update the status from pending to administered and click Given by Me. Verify non-VFC is listed and click OK. If the patient declines immunizations, you'll need to merge the declined IZ template. If you have placed an order for the immunization, make sure that you click into the blue link and delete the immunization. You can also print patient education here by clicking on the treatment link, education, and patient education. Here you'll be able to access any pregnancy-related patient education to print for the patient. Click on Browse next to Labs and Quick Transmit to print and separate your lab requisitions. Make sure you answer any AOE questions from each lab company. See if there's another lab company with AOE questions. Answer those and click OK when you're finished. Now separate your requisitions according to specimen type and lab company. The last section of this workflow is billing. Scroll down and click on Procedure Codes. Add the appropriate CPT codes. Click on Add CPT. Select Prenatal from the left-hand side and choose the appropriate Z code. Enter your follow-up information and the reason for the visit. This completes the documentation for the initial OB visit. To check out the patient, click on the S jelly bean from the top of your screen. Select the patient and click Check In, Check Out from the bottom of the screen to stop the cycle time. To check the patient out from the resource schedule, click on Resource Schedule from the left chart panel. Double-click to open the appointment and update the visit status from Arrived to Checked Out. Thank you for watching the initial OB intake visit workflow. For questions or comments, email us at carelinksftraining@sfdph.org.